activate this edge device that's been sent out to a remote branch. As you can see, it's been powered up. It's not connected to the internet. We can tell that because we have a red indicator light on the front panel that tells us it has no IP address and it can't reach the internet to communicate with our orchestration platform. So I'll quickly just plug it in to my home LAN environment. It'll receive an IP address and DNS servers, and it will run some tests to validate that it can actually communicate, resolve host names, and go into a state where it can actually be provisioned. And we should see the light change to an orange color as well on the front panel. Go on, there we go, great. So now it's in a state where it can be provisioned. So we do that through logging into the orchestration portal, and we'll create a profile for this device. A profile provides high-level generic configurations, as well as the VPN overlay configurations, etc. There is no CLI to activate this. There's no console cable. It's all done through the web interface and through activation on my iPhone. So let's configure a new profile. As I said before, a profile is a generic set of configuration options that can be sent to one device, 10 devices, 10,000 devices. They all receive the same profile and enter service. So let's make a new profile. I'm going to call this Acme profile. Whoop. Radio, create that profile. And the profile contains, as I said before, just a generic configuration that every router on the planet would have. So things like DNS settings, syslog configuration, NetFlow, BGP, OSPF type configurations, so authentication configurations, and we can do this on a per segment basis. And a segment is very similar to a VRF. So if we want to have unique configuration and unique topology overlay for corporate traffic and differentiated from guest Wi-Fi services, and again can be differentiated again from PCI services that have to have their own isolated service with their own unique VPN topology. So we'll turn on the Cloud VPN, which allows this device to communicate to our cloud gateway services. But if we want to configure a hub and spoke topology or also a branch-to-branch dynamic VPN, we simply do this through tick boxes, and VeloCloud takes care of all the configuration for us. All right, we'll save these changes. And I've called it Acme Profile. So let's just activate this device here, and we'll call this Acme Branch 1. So wait for the configuration to save. Okay, let's configure a new edge. Okay, we'll call this Acme 1. Right, and it is this type of device. We'll turn on the additional analytics collection as well, and we'll apply my Acme profile, apply a license to it as well, and we'll tell it where to send an activation email as well. The activation email contains all the instructions for the remote user to bring up the device. We also, as part of the activation URL, pass the one-time activation key. So if we look at the email that I can send, and it provides basic instructions for the user to power the device up and plug in any internet cables and USB cables, and obviously we want to see it in a state where we have an orange LED on the front. The user then needs to use their device to connect to the integrated SSID using this password. And once they are connected, they will receive an IP address on this 192.168.2 network. We're going to pass the activation key and the orchestration platform. I've just copied this as well, so I'll put that into my phone. Let's paste that there as well. Okay, so we've now pasted the activation URL in here, and let's just have a look if we have, okay, I've already connected to the VeloCloud SSID here locally as well. So let's just tell this device to go into an activation state. Let's just make this a bit bigger here as well. Okay, so it is now calling home. It's connected, it's passed the activation key successfully, it's communicated with the orchestration platform, and it's now going into service. Okay, if there was a software upgrade required, it would also go through this process at the same time. So the device is now activating, it's gone red, it potentially will reboot to come into service as well. And we're still sitting here in a pending state. So the goal here is to get a green light on the front. So one of the things I can do as well, and I'll quickly configure a unique SSID for this device. So my my Acme device, I'm going to just look at the configuration on here. Radio, while we sort of sit here and wait for this to go through its process to communicate with the orchestrator. So I'm going to configure a unique SSID on here as well, because I think you'll find my device is probably going back to my home network. Okay, let's configure a subnet. What should we use? 56. The 24-bit mask, and we've already configured DHCP here as well. And we'll update this one. Okay, so we've now configured a specific subnet for this branch device. We'll configure an SSID as well. We'll override that locally, and we'll use the defaults here, VC Wi-Fi with VC secret. And save this changes. So this is now changing a device-specific configuration. As you can see, the light on the front has gone green, which means it's actually communicating and successfully entered service. I'm now going to push through this wireless SSID to it as well, so we may see it go red while it actually activates the radio as well. On my phone here, we should see the SSID appear as well. Okay, cool. VC Wi-Fi, let's connect to that. And we should get an IP address on that 192.168 as a 56 network as well. Okay. Okay, we did. Great. Let's see if we can actually get to the internet. Okay, we got to the internet. So that took us about 5 minutes, if that, to provision a device, bring it into service, configure a unique SSID for it, and yeah, configure the entire branch. Thanks for watching. Bye.